Welcome back to episode part three of three, a three-part series of coffee with Scott Silverman this week. Crisis coach and family navigator, CNN hero, and author of the opioid epidemic. What you don't know will destroy your family and your life. Scott, you are in recovery now 37 years. You are on a mission to help families who are in distress. We've been talking all week about counterfeit medication, accidental overdoses. We've been talking about asking for help. And today we're going to talk about how to help a loved one. In your expertise, how do you help a loved one who doesn't know they need help?
Well, this is going to hurt, but I want you to hear it. The first piece of advice is shut up. Second piece is listen.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have tried to say everything you possibly can to convince them that what they're doing is hurting them and hurting you. So stop doing that. It's not working.
Yeah.
The idea is to simply say to somebody, and rather than trying to point the finger of shame or try to carve out for them what they're doing wrong, share with them from your heart. And this is an example. You can use your voice. You can change the words a little bit. And this is the tagline, if you will. I am afraid. I am scared. I don't want to go to your funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And just pause and listen. From that response, you're going to get a variety of potential responses. But if somebody knows you've engaged in the listening mode and you're no longer trying to tell them how bad it is or how wrong what they're doing is, the odds are they might just flip a switch and go, I don't understand. And then you say, tell me more. The more you can listen at that moment, the better chance you have of building a whole new trajectory with that person to get the conversation moving forward. And once they've opened up a little bit, they are going to be flexible enough to retool a little bit, maybe redirect a little bit, maybe deflect a little bit, but the defenses hopefully will go down and those fighting words will go away and those trigger words will stop. Once that happens, their level of shame and the stigma behind all of this, potentially, it's not going to go away. It might just go behind them for a second or two, and it may create an opening to have a real conversation.
Yeah. Well, I love what you're talking about, because what you're talking about is actively listen. Can you go into a little bit more detail on how to actively listen and respond without judgment, without infusing shame, without infusing blame? We have talked about how addiction is a disease, and it would be, and you've talked about this earlier this week. If somebody broke their arm, you're not going to shame them. You're going to take them to the emergency room. And so can you talk a little bit more about how to make sure that happens in a healthy way?
When you're having a conversation with somebody, there's a thing we used to teach years ago in this classroom that I was part of. And that was when two people are talking, nobody is listening.
Mm-hmm.
So since the person who's suffering wants to kind of explain away what it is they think you're going to say, by simply doing your best to bite your tongue and listen. I know it sounds strange, but common sense will tell you that when you listen, different things will happen. And just think about things that you've had happen in your life when you first started dating, the person you will care most about, the one you really want to listen to you. When someone else feels like they're being heard, they're going to tell you things that they wouldn't normally share, or they'll do it in a way where it's much calmer, a lot more infused, and a lot more edible, if you will, where you can take little bites off of it at one period of time or another. So you're not forcing an issue, but you're giving them some slack. Now, a lifeguard will tell you when they go out to save someone's life, if someone starts grabbing them, they got to kind of knock them out to bring them ashore. Well, that's not your job. That lifeguard is trained, if they knock somebody out, how to get them ashore. You're not trained to do that. And the example you used, John, that I shared about someone having a broken arm, the story I like, somebody breaks their arm, you sit down at the table and you start beating the kids, over the head going, how'd you break your arm? Why'd you do that? This has happened before. You should know better. Accidents happen, but this is a disease. So we have to get to the bottom of it, get them to the highest level of care possible, let the professionals take it on, let them do their job. So the common sense piece is 2 ears, 1 mouth, shut the mouth and listen.
Yeah.
Promise
I
you,
love it.
here's something that will tell you what to do next. I
Yeah.
know that's not a real science-based answer, John, but I think it's the one that works the most for me. And I've seen it in action. And it's one of the few things that you really can do with somebody who suffers from a disease of
Yeah.
denial and doesn't want to hear because they don't think they have a problem.
Well, active listening is so simple, it's complicated, and something so fundamental that we all can work on and benefit from it in multiple ways, specifically in this situation. Scott, tell everybody where they can buy your book and connect with you.
Buy my book on Amazon. It's the quickest. Call me 619-993-2738. Email me at yourcrisiscoach.com. It's on the screen, or just Google me, Scott H. Silverman. I'm easy to find on any social media platform. But you know what? If you really want to talk to me, trust me, I'm the easiest part of this journey you're going to have. Don't be afraid of it. Make that call.
Yeah. Scott, I appreciate your insight. I appreciate you being on the show all week and having coffee with me and the Think community. Think community, if Scott can help you or you know anybody who can, he can help, please forward this to them. Think community, thank you. Scott, thank you for your wisdom and your courage to talk about this and help so many people all over the world. Thank you so much.
It's my honor.